the night. One of them, Alexis McAllister, and the birthday boy today, Alison, are both alongside Emma Dodds.
Thanks, Rachel. Well, congratulations, guys. And Alison, happy birthday. 3 points and a clean sheet. That's a nice present, surely.
Thank you, Ed. That's what I asked for the boys before. When I had my speech, it was a fantastic game, really tough opponent. They play really well with the ball, and without the ball they are aggressive. They're a strong team. Always play against Italian sides are difficult, but we did good to manage their game and to score enough to win the game and to defend well to keep the clean sheet.
And Alexis, a home debut in this competition and a first ever Champions League goal. A good night for you too.
Yeah, amazing. Really happy personally, but at the same time for the team. As Ali said, he made some good save. Sometimes I think we need to defend better, but at least Ali could show how good he is. So very happy for him and for the team.
And for your goal, it was a sublime cross from Mo Salah. That's so difficult to defend against. And I guess, I don't know for sure, but it's quite difficult to miss from that far out.
Yeah, to be fair, it's quite hard, but you could. You never know, but a goal is a goal. Very happy because in this team we know that when we make a run, Mo can see everything. So really happy for him as well because he scored a goal. So I think it was a good night for everyone.
Yeah, it was a great goal for Mo, wasn't it? He's now the first Liverpool player to score in 5 consecutive European matches here at home. I mean, you get a front row seat watching him. He really just keeps raising the bar, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a player that helps us a lot. Sometimes look like he's not in the game, but then suddenly he makes perfect touch and he puts the ball on the top corner. That's his quality. That's his strength as well. We are lucky to have him, but we have always to highlight the hard work that the team had here tonight. A lot of things to improve still, but was good and enough to win the game.
And do you feel the signs are coming that this team is evolving under Arne Salah? It always takes a period of transition when a new coach comes in.
Yeah, I think it's clear that we are in a transition, but we are happy. We are happy with the ideas, and we are trying to get there. We know that there is still room for improvement, and that's why we work very hard every day.
And the beard is growing back already. Are you going to shave it off again, or is it on the comeback?
I don't know. I'll stay clear a little bit for a while just to do something different.
Congratulations, guys. All the best. Cheers.
And what have you made of his character? I mean, the stats about how well he's done speaks for themselves. But as someone walking in to fill the shoes of Jurgen Klopp, I mean, those are big shoes to fill, such a huge character as well, on and off the pitch. How do you reckon he's done so far?
He's done amazingly well. I think there's a calmness about him. He seems to exude confidence. I always remember first game of the season, we were down at Ipswich for a newly promoted side. There was always a bounce about them. I just thought the way he was, the way he spoke, certainly after the game, about not being happy with some of the standards. You know, he took Quansah off at half time, replaced him with Konate. He wasn't afraid to make that decision really on into his career. But I think there's a calmness. There seems to be, the football club seems to be in safe hands, and that's such a big thing to say after such a huge character like Jurgen Klopp's just left. But so far, so good.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just replacing a manager, it's also the length of time and the sort of the DNA that Jurgen Klopp brought with him and instilled over a long period of time. So for Arne Slot to come in, he's not changed too much with how the style of the play, but he's brought his own environment to the club, to the players. And I've seen him before matches come at least half an hour before the players come onto the pitch, so go 2 hours before, just go and sit in the dugout and sort of almost visualise things on the pitch. He seems to be a very considered person. He's not pacing up and down the sideline. You know, his emotional state seems to be quite stable. It compares to how you've got to be as a goalkeeper. You know, at times you can't let the highs and the lows kind of affect that emotional stability, and it does seem like it has that. It's having a positive impact on the players. They had the little blip against Nottingham Forest, but aside from that, they've looked really steady.
They really have, haven't they? Is he the kind of player you'd want to play for, do you think?
The manager? I think he's the type.
Did I say player? I meant manager.
No.
Because I was swallowing something. Sorry about that.
He does. He's they play football the right way. He's made subtle changes. He's not made wholesale changes. It's obvious that he's put his stamp on what was a very good side. He inherited a good squad, but he's playing slightly differently. They're playing a little bit more patient now, but at times you still have that football that we saw under Jurgen Klopp, and he's got tremendous players. You don't need wholesale changes, but what I like about it, he's put his mark on it, but they're still winning games, and of course there's still a long way to go, but it's a great start for him.
And jobs like this can really be a poison chalice. You look at Unai Emery taking over from Arsene Wenger. You look at David Moyes taking over from Sir Alex Ferguson as well. When there are big characters and someone new comes in, everything can really change. Whereas for him, he seems to have just slotted in seamlessly.
Oh, lovely. He has indeed. And it's not just him. Think the numerous backroom staff, the coaches, medical department. There's been huge changes across all of that backroom staff. So it's not, as I said, he obviously heads all of that up, and he'll have brought in some of his own ideas, some of his own personal people that he's worked alongside, and so it's the whole infrastructure that's been unsettled. So I think to have slotted in so seamlessly, as you said there, is almost quite remarkable. And there's a lot of thought that's gone into how do we, because it is a we, how do we go about doing that? Because, to create off the back of Jurgen Klopp having such a positive environment, having a real good feel factor about the whole club, not just the players, but the whole club. I think it was a big shoes to fill.
Absolutely, but he seems to be slotting in. We're going to use that quite a lot, aren't we, throughout the season? There's a calm, quiet authority about him as well. I was really impressed with the press conference before this Champions League game, because this was a huge night for him coming into this game, but where he just came in, he was understated, really firm, and he was just saying, you know what, it's a call to arms. I want everyone to stand up and just say, you know what, you've missed us, haven't you? Yeah, well, hopefully we'll be able to ask him in a little minute. I think this is him coming over now, but he will be so pleased with how it's gone so far, and also the way the players have behaved. I mean, I'll ask him now in a minute, but he must be incredibly pleased by how receptive the players been to new ideas. Arne, well done, mate. Arne, lovely to see you. How are you? Thank you for joining us as well. What are your first emotions after that big win here?
Yeah. Wasn't an easy one, in my opinion. Bologna made it difficult, similar to Atalanta last season. They played man mark all over the pitch, so then you have to wait for the right moment, because if you play through it, then it's completely open. And I think it was many times completely open, but then the last pass was could have been better, let's put it that way.
I was just talking just before you came here about the wider perspective of it all. You must be so pleased with how receptive the players have been to new ideas.
No, definitely, but not only the players. I think also the staff that I inherited of that stayed here. They've been positive from the start, players as well, and probably has a lot to do with us not keeping a lot of things the same, because they were also very happy with the former regime, so then you don't have to change a lot. And the good thing is that they bought into it, and they worked really hard to keep a clean sheet again today, although we also needed our goalkeeper on a few occasions.
You said about the one thing that you weren't completely happy with, the final ball in the final third, that final pass. What things overall were you delighted with? The application?
I don't know if there were many things I was delighted with, apart maybe from both goals, because we scored two very good goals, especially the second one came from a moment where Diogo dropped. Because they played man mark all over the pitch, then if a striker drops and keeps the ball, great ball from Virgil, great attack, great overlapping run from Trent as well, so I was delighted with that goal. But it's always difficult to play a team that takes that much risk and is constantly on top of you. Second half was better in pressing, I felt, than the first half. So overall good result, but I wouldn't use the word delighted. Myself today.
Well, this is it, because you said you don't want to settle for mediocrity. You're always looking for ways to improve. If you had to do a school report on tonight, what were the main areas where you would look to improve tonight?
I said during halftime that I thought it's difficult. So if the other team like I said, plays man mark all over the pitch, and you play a long ball and you don't win it, and they have the ball again, I see sometimes heads go down a bit. Again a loss of the ball, and then they wait too long before they start pressing again, and then you give the initiative away. So in my opinion, that happened a bit too much in the first half. Second half, we started off pressing much better, and we had more control, in my opinion, in the second half than we had in the first half. So with the ball, it's not easy if they are constantly 1v1. So it was, I don't think our goalkeeper in the first 8 games touched the ball so many times as today, but he's the only player who's free, because they play man v man. And then we kept the ball better in the second half than in the first half.
Can I just ask you about Gravenberch's contribution?
I was delighted with him.
Yeah. So very delighted. You must have told him at half time. I was delighted with him.
No, I don't tell my players that I'm delighted with them at half time, because it's 45 minutes to go. But I said after the game, again, a big performance. He played really well, because again, I come back to this man v man. So if you then have a player that can turn away from his man, you immediately have an overload. And I think that happened in the first minute already, where Virgil played him and he turned away. But we were a bit unlucky or not perfect in the last ball. But Ryan was again outstanding today. Yeah.
How do you account for the change in momentum? About 25 minutes into the first half, it kind of switched. It looked like Bologna had the best chances in that last 15 minutes of the half to score a goal.
Yeah.
Concentration.
I don't think it's concentration. It started off with a free kick they got over here, and I think a few times that we conceded that was out of set pieces as well. And the team gets momentum from this if you concede a chance, and that's what happened. But I think you could also see today that they have a very good game plan and a very good idea about football. They just kept on playing out from the back. But the first goal we scored was a pressing moment for us, where they might have maybe taken a bit too much risk, which led to a fantastic goal from us. But yeah, if you play against a team that's comfortable in ball possession, yeah, sometimes you have to suffer as well. You have to work hard. And what I was also delighted with, so there are a few things, is if I look at Ibu, Virgil, how they throw themselves in front of a ball, how they do everything to keep a clean sheet. That is, I think, the mentality we need to keep a clean sheet.
No, fantastic clean sheet, and as you say, difficult moments, but you survived them, like the game against Wolves at the weekend as well, and I think this one is a good example of that. I don't know if you're aware of this record that you've set tonight. Has anyone told you yet that you're the most successful Liverpool man, or you've had the best start to your Liverpool tenure? 8 wins in 9 games in all competitions. You're the only Liverpool manager to ever do that, Arne.
It's hardly impossible to do something special at this club because of all the trophies that has been won over here. But I think it says a lot about where we started off with, how much the players bought into it, how much effort they put in, and how much the staff that helps me as well to create this start. But yeah, I said as well that even more difficult fixtures are coming up. Starting on Saturday, where we play a 12:30 kickoff after playing on an evening Champions League on Wednesday. So yeah, but it's nice to start this way. That's clear. Yeah.
It's fantastic. Have a little celebration. We'll see you back on TNT Sports with us on Saturday.
Well done, mate.
Arne, congratulations. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Goal against in the Champions League, actually, is called, shall I get that right? 5 consecutive goals and at home in the Champions League. First player to do it.
I thought you were impeccable.
Do you know what? It's late. I only just had a cup of tea. Do you know, when you look at that victory, look, really stylish finishes in the end. Arne Slot, it was interesting talking to him as well, because they didn't have it all their way, but it just shows the class of this side to get the job done. That was the most important thing in this league phase of the Champions League. There's nothing more important than that.
Interesting talking to Arne Slot there. He wasn't happy. You could tell. I think he kind of outwardly, he was saying all the right things, but I think he would have been slightly annoyed in the dressing room, I would say, and told his players that not to give up those chances, not to give the ball away too sloppily. But having said that, you've got a player like Mo Salah. He's world class, and the ball was fantastic for the first goal, but again at the finish, he comes inside. It's like the moment he gets on that left foot, you know what he's going to do, but you just can't stop it.
Yeah, you absolutely cannot stop it. Let's take a look at the first goal, though, because Mo Salah did have a hand in this one. Alexis McAllister on 11 minutes, his first ever Champions League goal, this one, and it was just the perfect delivery from Salah, and it was just a beautifully worked goal.
Yeah, lovely build-up play from McAllister. He's involved in it right from the beginning, and to say that he was purely an assist, Resh, I think it's a bit harsh because he put it on a plate about half a yard out from the goal line. But you can see here that McAllister's rolling, it finds a pocket between the defensive line and midfield line, then breaches that once again, gets forward of it, but he's never switches off. He's thinking, where can I be? Where do I need to be? Back post, left footer, in swinger was always going to be from Mo Salah at that time. Goalkeeper's expecting a shot, so he's kind of square on to Mo Salah, expecting that. And when it doesn't and it's drifting in, it's just too late for the goalkeeper to come and collect.
It's lovely from McAllister starting that move and obviously finishing it as well. Mo Salah was fantastic, but there's a lot of talk about Liverpool's midfield in the summer, and they need to strengthen in there. But those three look really, really settled. Curtis Jones is waiting in the wings. Harvey Elliott obviously injured, but they've got strength and depth in those positions, and Gravenberch has become there's a revelation in there, I think.
Yeah, and the manager really was pleased with him today as well. As you say, they're just looking solid in that position. And then you've got Mo Salah as well, a player of his ilk, coming and scoring right in front of the Kop as well. What a beautiful strike that was.
Oh, that was such a good goal, honestly. Credit to Trent, obviously, great build-up again, coming through the centre of the pitch, gets out to sort of wide right, and then Salah's got him. But if you look at Trent's run, it was a brilliant run, and he took the defender away, and that opened it all up for Mo Salah to come inside, and he's devastating when he does this. Look at Trent's run here, and he's literally got to go with him, but if he stays where he is, he could potentially stop the goal. But it was a great run from Trent, really unselfish, and a fantastic finish from Salah.
Yeah, and Szoboszlai was really influential in the game, I thought, as well. We talked about McAllister, we talked about Gravenberch. Szoboszlai was seemingly everywhere as well, played a hand in leading up to that goal as well. But Jota, when he came on, I felt he lifted the Liverpool team, brought a little bit of, it's a different dimension, different type of player to Núñez, but I thought he brought a little bit of extra quality as well.
Yeah, the substitutions definitely made a difference, didn't they, Peter?
I feel for Núñez a little bit. He didn't do a lot wrong there, but Jota's got the shirt, and listen, I've been in that position before when you're trying so hard you've got an hour to impress, and you know that when you see Jota warming up that your number's going to be coming up, and he'll be disappointed, really disappointed, but he'll have to keep going, and he will get his chances this season.
There were a couple of those chances where, Rachel, you and I were looking at each other thinking, it's actually just so frustrating to see him miss them. What needs to change for him? Is it just practice? Is it something in his mentality where he doesn't sort of get downbeat if he misses a chance, for example? It's just kind of keeping that positivity, but it's difficult when you're getting those chances and you're not putting them in the back of the net under this level of pressure.
It wasn't just that, the execution, the final bit. It was the odd couple of runs that he'd made too early and was offside, and how many times we saw that was frustrating for fans to watch last season and frustrating for him, I'm sure. He needs to just keep learning his role, to learn how to be the best attacker, the timing his runs, arcing his runs, all the things that Peter knows much more about than me. But it is just rehearsal time and time again, and looking at the detail. Okay, I think Mac was saying in commentary, you've got to see the back of the defender's shirt. You can see the back of the player's shirt, you've gone too early. So it's the timing of everything. And having last season, I remember watching a couple of games with Núñez, and just thinking, what is the missing kind of ingredient? And at the time, it was almost trying too hard and just not having that little pause and breath, that bit of composure when striking the ball. But we've seen him score a brilliant goal, so far this season. Just got to keep working away at the basic technical aspects of being a striker.
Yeah. OK, well, let's take a look at Bologna's chances, because they did have a few efforts, didn't they? Particularly, as we said, towards the end of that first half, where Liverpool lost a bit of control, which Arne talks about, that little bit of sloppiness. But they'll be sad to not get something from this.
There you can see Bologna's tactic. It was quite often came from when Allister had a goal kick and he was playing out short, which I understand the tactics, because if you play through that, then you play through the lines, that's when they're high. But when you do get caught, that's quite often when they're in on goal, and they get caught here, and it was chance after chance. And although Alisson gave the ball away a few times with his feet, he was fantastic when he was goalkeeper, when he was saving shots, and they couldn't get past him today, and it was a little bit wasteful from Bologna, but Alisson is a world-class goalkeeper. That's what you expect from him.
Second half, I think Alisson managed playing out from the back a lot better. So on quite a few occasions, from goal kicks or from having possession in a deep position, he looked to go long, and it wasn't always, but it looked like he'd been given licence to have the choice to manage the game how he felt best.
Yeah. OK. Okay. Well, it was a big win for Liverpool then. Let's take a check on all the results across Europe tonight. There were 9 matches all across TNT Sport. And take a look at this. A huge win for Benfica, but a huge defeat, you have to say, for Real Madrid. They travelled to Lille and they leave with absolutely nothing. Lille beat them by a goal to 0.